Hey everybody, Brett Mix, Macho Wrestling 101 here for a quick ratings report for December the 4th, 2023. The Raw rating is in. It's down considerably. It's 1.533 million people. That's down from 1.844 the week before. And last week they went up 26% in the ratings, and they went up 34% in the key demo. That's 18 to 49-year-olds demographic. That demo was a 0.65 last week. This week it's a 0.49. So that continues to drop. The Raw rating drops. They didn't capitalize on their momentum. They had a good Survivor Series with the returns of Randy Orton and CM Punk. They had a good first quarter hour Raw the next night. The first quarter hour drew over 2 million, and that's really rare for these days. So they had people interested. And then the Punk quarter hour drew 1.8, so they had people interested in that too. And the overall rating was in 1.8. So they showed that they had an audience that cared about that, but they didn't capitalize on it this week. And I think it's a costly mistake. I'm not sure when 1.4 or 1.5 became the norm, but it's important. Ratings matter. They affect morale, merchandise, revenue, stock, just because it has a ripple effect, right? Everything affects everything in some way. And Raw not doing too well this week after the CM Punk no-show shouldn't surprise people, because the shows, when circled around Drew McIntyre, I've noticed a trend. They haven't drawn very well. Whether it's the pandemic or now. Not putting all the blame on Drew. I'm just saying I noticed a trend that way. You could say that it was focused around Seth Rollins and Jey Uso, and that would be right. I think the commercials in the middle of their matches hurt the show. I really think that's a trend that needs to stop. During the Attitude Era, they never did that, and unless it was a main event. And also last week they had the first hour commercial lists, and look what happened. They drew a 1.884. I'm not saying that's one of the only reasons, but it's a factor. They can't just keep having, if they're gonna make their Raw all about matches and less story, more matches, they need to actually make the matches matter and not have a commercial 1 minute in when somebody does a high spot to the outside. You know what's coming, and you can't get into a match when you know there's a commercial coming in 30 seconds. And the Raw kind of lacked story and substance. The good matches were the only part of Raw that was good last night. And they need more story. I thought the Cody Rhodes storyline was a little lackluster with Shinsuke Nakamura. This is the same thing each week. Last week he just got sprayed in the face. That's the only difference. They're doing a lot of repetitive things on Raw. They need to. I'm all for long-term storytelling. I was one of the people that said last week that, hey, let it play out. Let CM Punk's return play out. He just said, I'm home and I love you guys, which is great. Let it play out. See what he says next Monday. But he's got to show up the next Monday, and that's Raw's fault. That's WWE's fault, not his fault, that he didn't show up. They didn't capitalize on the momentum, and I think that's a mistake. So we'll see with this Friday Night SmackDown where he is advertised. We'll see if it's a one-time spike or if it's a regular thing. And next Monday Raw, that's going to be where he's advertised. That's going to be interesting. He was invited, I should say, not advertised. So he told Seth Rollins, did Adam Pearce, that Punk was going to be invited. So they wouldn't do that if he's not showing up. So he'll be on next Raw, and it'll be interesting to see what the ratings are for that. I'm Brett Mix, and this is a relatively new channel. I do history of wrestling videos each day. I'm doing the Monday Night Wars right now. I'm having a blast. I know there's a niche audience that likes that stuff, so I'm just putting it out there that I'm doing Raw and Nitro reviews. If you want to be subscribed to my channel, or I certainly invite you to do so, or follow along with the Monday Night Wars. Whenever you want to go back and rewatch them, I'm archiving them, so they're in their own folder. So if you want to do that, you certainly invite you to do so. And hopefully Raw's rating goes up next week. We'll see how it goes. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out. Thanks for watching.